What's up, world? Welcome to The Positive Truth, uplifting and positive news for a more progressive society. Tim, what are we trying to bring?
Here at The Positive Truth, we're trying to bring awareness, empowerment, inspiration, optimism, and understanding to communities everywhere.
How are you doing, Tim?
I'm doing great, just got off work. I ate some food. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm hungry. And I'm always hungry. I actually ran out of water filters, so that's what I'm going to do after this. Need to pick up a water filter. Besides that, it's good, man. It's an off day. Feeling great. I got like 10 hours of sleep last night.
Man, you are winning right now.
The Thunder won.
And Russ got another triple-double. That's the only thing I know about the game, man.
It's all good. If you're new to the podcast, we are The Positive Truth. We do uplifting and positive news episodes every Monday and Wednesday. And we talk about an issue that you can change for the better on the Friday episodes. We just did part 1 of 35 dumb things well-intended people say to widen the diversity gap. It's a pretty good episode. Part 2 is coming out basically this Friday. We cover topics like that's so gay, queer, that's so retarded. I don't see a difference. We're all part of the same human race. I don't see color. I'm colorblind. Some of my best friends are. I know exactly how you feel. We covered all those topics. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good, and it's something we can all relate to, I feel like, and we definitely had a good time doing that episode, JP. I feel like we got a lot of good laughs off on those.
So, were they good laughs, or were they like, oh my goodness, this happens all the time, we're laughing instead of crying laughs?
Answer number 2.
Okay. Well, let's get into these positive news stories. I'll start us off.
Yes, sir.
We keep on talking about all the positive things China's doing. In Beijing, they're going to replace 67,000 fossil fuel taxis and replace them with electric cars.
Oh, nice.
Beijing has basically 70,000 taxis in their city. Yo, that's a lot of taxis.
Man. So, man, there's a lot of stuff going on over there. By going green over there in China, man.
Absolutely.
Like, that's good to hear. They're always taking a step forward because, they're known as the biggest polluting country in the world. One of them, for sure. And the fact that they're taking so many steps forward, and they're investing so much money into it is pretty awesome to see.
Positive change is always great.
Yeah, for sure.
Tim, what you got?
Man, I have some bees. Cheerios will actually send you 500 wildflower seeds for free to help save the bees. All you have to do is register online. I mean, it's pretty obvious that people know by now we need bees. And bees are vital to the ecosystem. They help pollinate 35% of the world's food. So a world without bees, it would be terrible for food for us when it comes to crops. So Cheerios is trying to do their part. They actually took their bee off of their box, off the Honey Nut Cheerios. Yeah, Honey Nut Cheerios. I believe the bee's name is Buzz. They took him off the box to show how important it is for us to have bees. So what they're doing is all you have to do is register online, sign up, send your address, and they will send you 500 seeds to grow wildflowers. I thought that was pretty awesome. JP, what did you think, man?
I don't have a yard, so I feel like I'm missing out.
Man, you know what you could do? Just like sprinkle them around somewhere in an open field. YOLO.
Are you going to put the seeds in your backyard?
Yeah, man, the wife wants to put them up in the front. She saw a place, and I was like, I'm not about this life because I feel like if I'm walking inside, I'm going to run right into some bees and get stung. So I'd rather put them to the side somewhere where nobody's at.
They're not going to sting you, man.
Man, I'm terrified of bees, man. Like, I don't mind them being there, but like if one's flying around me, I freak out.
That makes it worse.
I know, and exactly why.
Have you ever been stung by a bee?
Yeah, when I was a kid. Back of the neck. Got me.
I've only been stung by a wasp once, and I was playing basketball outside on my little goal, and I felt something go on my butt. And so I slapped it, and it like went through the mesh shorts, and it got me.
Ah.
But it didn't hurt that bad because it was through like, you know, tighty whities and mesh shorts, because I was like 8.
Oh, I can't breathe right now. Oh, man. All right. Now, next positive news story. Let's get off the tidy whities. That was hilarious.
All right. Off the tidy whities, onto a first. In Scotland, they have the longest, basically, the world's oldest golfing club. It's 273 years old. For the first time in their history, they're going to allow women members.
Legit.
It was the part I like most about this story is it was put to a vote by the male members in the group, and 80% of them said, yeah, it's about time. We need to allow this.
It is about time, for sure. That's awesome, though.
Absolutely. Short and sweet. It is the Honorable Company of Edinburgh Golfers that voiced their disappointment from the Murrayfield Golf Club in Scotland. So yeah.
Nice.
It is. I really don't like stereotypes at all. But the pictures on this website are just amazing. It's like a golf course inside of like a national park.
For real?
Yeah, they have like all these flowers, sceneries, like scenic walks, like stone pillars over like the little like river passages, over the water passages. This place looks really nice.
Man, like, it sounds like a resort or something.
Pretty much, except it's a golf course, which is probably more expensive than a resort.
Touche.
But shout out to them.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, man, my next positive news story actually is about a father who was about to board a plane with his daughter. His daughter recently turned 2 years old, and whenever he was checking out to get his ticket, the lady asked how old his daughter was, and he said 2. She recently just turned 2. And she asked where was her ticket, and he said, what do you mean? You know, he was under the impression that she was basically allowed to ride for free, which children are at the age of 1. But when they bought the tickets, she was 1. She just recently turned 2, you know, a little while after. And he was confused, and he was trying to explain to the lady he can't afford to buy another ticket. She can just sit on my lap like she would if she was 1. I'm sorry. And the lady would not let it happen. So, you know, the father is making a few phone calls, and he's hugging his daughter and has his hand on his head trying to figure out what he's going to do. And the lady behind him basically said, I'll pay for his ticket. And the lady that was at the register was like, do you know how much this ticket is? And she said, yeah, it's 700 and something. She said 749. And the lady was like, yeah, pulled out her credit card. She paid for the ticket. And the man, you know, is hugging her and crying and thank you so much. What's your name so I can repay you? And she said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And the cashier basically knew that lady was going to help her no matter what the cost was at all. And she said she really wanted to share this story. So whenever she did share this story online on Facebook, she ended up finding out who the lady was. The lady's name is actually Debbie Bolton. She's the co-founder and the global chief sales officer at Norwex, a firm that sells home cleaning products. The reason why she wanted to share this story, she shared this story again to tell everyone, can you please talk about this story wherever you are, whatever platform you have, because this lady deserves some kind of recognition. So I wanted to make sure I shared the first part because I thought it was a positive news story in itself, but I also wanted to share this to help this young lady, or this woman, not young lady, but this woman who didn't want any credit, get some kind of credit, because you definitely deserve it, Miss Debbie Bolton.
Nice. So the cashier, the one that wouldn't allow the 2-year-old on the plane, is the one that posted this positive news story?
Yes, sir. Or no. The person that posted this positive news story was another bystander.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if the cashier is so moved by this, they should have just let the 2-year-old on board.
Yeah, that's true for sure. For sure.
But great uplifting. I like it. I like it a lot.
Tú sabes. What else you got, JP?
So I have a story coming from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Hopefully I didn't butcher the name like I always do. They just built a new homeless shelter. But see, here's the thing with the homeless shelter. They raised $850,000 for it.
Wow.
And then they raised $685,000 and $1 million from donations.
Wow. That's a lot, man.
Because the affordable housing program grant it was like a federal grant that was going to build the homeless shelter, it got turned down. So the community, it's a lady named Lynn Carroll. She basically was like, hey, as a community, we need to come together and raise the money to make this homeless shelter, since we're not going to get the money from the federal government, since they're spending it on other things. And the community came together and raised basically almost $1 million. And they're going to build a new soup kitchen afterwards. They raised so much money they can build the homeless shelter that can hold 75 people. And they're going to build a new soup kitchen.
Man, positivity on positivity. I love it.
Absolutely, man.
Man, I'm loving today's episode, or today's stories.
Oh, they're still getting better. Wait till we get to the end, Tim. I got something just for you.
Legit. Well, I'm about to tell you my last one right now. Do you want to go ahead and tell one, or you want me to go ahead and finish this one up?
Finish this one, because I got something to follow this one up.
Legit. Well, mine's about a little girl. Her name is Armani Cruz. So Armani Cruz has been begging her parents for months to feed homeless people in her community. Her mom was like, yeah, we can make some sandwiches and hand them out. And Armani said, no. I'd want the same thing we'd have at my birthday party. Her father said, look, if we do this, you're not going to have a birthday party. You're not going to have birthday gifts. You're not going to have a cake. You're not going to have any of that, because we're going to do it for the homeless people. And Armani was like, yes, that's what I want to do. So they decided to, the $300 they were going to spend for a birthday party for their daughter, they decided to buy food to deliver for the homeless people in the city. The city's in East Garfield Park neighborhood. I'm not exactly sure where that's at in Chicago, but it's in Chicago. They purchased chicken, fish, spaghetti, corn, green beans, mashed potatoes, rolls, cake, cookies, fruit, and water. Armani basically was definitely persistent to her parents, so they decided to do that. And whenever her church found out what Armani was doing, they decided to donate other items to make care packages for the homeless in her community. So I'm going to share this story to Facebook, and there's an awesome picture with Armani sitting at a table with all the stuff that was donated from her church. And it just makes me smile hearing about this, because Armani's birthday party that she wanted to give the homeless people, basically, she fed more than 125 people.
Say it again, Tim.
She fed over 125 people. You know what she said, though? Whenever she was interviewed, she said it was nice to be nice.
Nice.
Armani that was her 6th birthday present. She fed more than 125 people. 6-year-old.
What did you want for your 6th birthday, Tim?
And I think a remote control car. And I think I got it, and it got ran over the same day. Definitely wasn't thinking about, feeding other people for sure.
I wasn't either. I was thinking about Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers.
Man, Power Rangers were life.
So, yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah, man, she's definitely an inspiration. I hope somebody's sharing this where her parents can hear this and they can let her know she's definitely inspiring many, many, many more out there than what she thinks.
Well, to follow this story up, I got a story of another young person doing great things in their community. I got a story about an 11-year-old who started a Books and Bros reading club to promote literacy for children in his community.
Wow.
So basically, he was 11 years old. He was behind on his reading. because they say at third grade, that's when kids start to slip behind on their reading. And he said, like, man, growing up, he didn't think it was cool. He liked to play video games, liked to play sports, but he like hated reading in class out loud, kind of like you, Tim.
Yes, sir.
So basically, talked to his mom. It was like, started reading some books. He went to his library, and they have an African American children's literature section in University City, Missouri, which is cool in its own right, because there aren't that many children's books catered to African Americans or just minority, poor people in general at that age. So he was like, hey, we should start a club. And he did. And the club is aimed for 8 to 10-year-olds. And they get books donated in. It's a $20 membership fee. They all get to read the books together. They're fun books. They talk about it. There's a worksheet. And then they all post about it. And it's like there's a picture right now of like all these little kids just smiling, reading books. I just thought it was cool. And the fact that he was like, I suck at reading. I know other people don't like reading out loud. So to help them, I'm going to start a book reading club in my local library. That's just pretty cool.
Man, that is awesome. Like, that is so awesome. I would have definitely want to enter that club. Like, look, I can't read out loud either, man. I hate it. I get nervous. Hands start sweating. Why is everybody looking at me? Yeah, I stuttered. Yeah, I skipped that line. Who cares? Man, that's awesome. Start having flashbacks, man.
I mean, on top of that, we're trying to break stereotypes here at The Positive Truth. It's African American children in University City, Missouri. So I think that's doubly cool. Our black males are not just thugs and drug dealers.
Man, and to be honest with you, Armani is an African American young girl, 6 years old.
We're fighting those stereotypes, man. We're not just thugs.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. You already know.
We don't have cultural problems. It's not the African American. Never mind. We'll stop.
JP was about to go in.
Tim, well, are you guys still going to run a marathon?
Yeah, man. I'm all about that. I just I've been running, not consistently enough, but I've definitely been running, and I'm definitely not going to run fast. So don't think I'm going over there trying to win this thing. I'm definitely going to specifically just finish, because I definitely want to see how it feels to actually run 26.2 miles without stopping.
And you're going to do which marathon?
The Memorial Marathon.
The one in Oklahoma City? You want to tell everyone a little bit about the Memorial Marathon?
Well, in 1995, an act of terrorism happened here in Oklahoma City. The Murrah building downtown was actually bombed by, well, you guys probably heard of Timothy McVeigh and all those other guys. There was people that were lost. They passed away in the bombing, which was, terrible in itself. And for that bombing, they decided to make a memorial run for it, which it turned out to be, one of the nicer marathons in the United States now. And this is my first year actually running in the full marathon. I ran in the relay a few years ago, and it was awesome. The motivation while you're out there running. I only did a 6-mile run, and it was like the last 6 miles of the race. So all these kids are holding signs, "You can do it," and they're yelling at the marathon runners, but I'm right there next to them anyway. So it's like, oh, they're talking to me too. But it's definitely a beautiful thing, and it's awesome because you have thousands among thousands of people out there running, watching, supporting, and it's all for one cause. It's for the Murrah building that's down there now. They turned it into a museum, and it's awesome. It's a part of Oklahoma history, and I definitely would love to be a part of this marathon. So I definitely decided I'm going to run in a marathon, and this is going to be my first one. So yeah.
Do you feel like it's an accomplishment if anyone completes a marathon?
Man, I respect everybody that's completed a marathon, no matter how fast you finished or how long it took you, whatever. It does not matter. I ran cross country in college. I've ran against some of the fastest guys, in the United States. And running's tough. Running is everybody's sports punishment pretty much, unless you run track or cross country. And I definitely respect anybody that can run for 3+ hours and still have some energy to walk around and drink a beer and eat a sandwich or something, man.
Well,
I don't understand it.
Speaking of that, can you imagine being 70 years old and running marathons?
Yo, I can barely imagine myself right now running marathons.
Okay. Can you imagine yourself being 70 years old running 7 marathons in 7 days?
Negative, sir.
Okay. Can you imagine yourself being 70 years old running over 70 marathons during your lifetime and challenging yourself? I want to run 7 marathons in 7 days on each continent on the planet.
That sounds like the dopest thing in the world. Who did this?
Okay. Oh, I set you up nice. Lady's name is Chow Smith. She's not retired. She's 70 years old. She still works 10-hour days. I don't know how. But
Yo, she's running 7 marathons in 7 different continents in 7 days. Of course she can work 10 hours, JP. That ain't nothing.
yeah, that's a really good point. So she did this year between January 25th and January 31st. The first one was in Perth, Australia. The next day, she finished it, got on a plane, went to Singapore, Asia, marathon there, got on a plane, went to Cairo, ran another marathon, then went to Amsterdam, a little north, did another marathon, then flew to New York, did a marathon.
North America.
Then went to Chile, ran a marathon, and then went to King George Island, Antarctica, and ran the last one.
Yo, I was like, who runs a marathon in Antarctica? I was really waiting for that one, yo. That's so crazy. That is so, man, how awesome is that, though? Like, my goal in life is to run a road race in every continent in the world, and she's over here running marathons. Like, I need to step my game up. Like, my bucket list.
7 days.
Yo, that's, man.
I mean,
I gotta shake this woman's hand, man. I gotta shake her hand. Where she live, man? What country she live in?
Missouri.
She's from Missouri?
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta meet her. I'm gonna figure out a way. When there's a will, there's a way, JP.
She said she didn't want to publicize this before the trip. She just wanted to challenge herself in life to be better. She teamed up with the basically it's a travel company that does marathon adventures. So they give discounted prices if you're running marathons for airplane tickets. Tim, you need to check this out.
Oh, man.
9 other people did it with her, but she was just obviously the oldest. Which is doubly crazy because 10 people did it. And she's 70 years old, man.
Man, this has to be talked about. Like, how do you not talk about this?
You know what was funny? When I found this, it was like, I found this on Reddit and there was no upvotes. Like, no one cared. No comments, nothing. I was like, wait, what?
How does nobody, like, man.
The world is weird like that.
I guess, man. I guess.
I don't do well with jet lag. Like, I remember when I was in high school, you had to be, class started at like 7:10, 7:20. So you had to get up at like 6 o'clock to get ready.
Right.
So I would go from like staying up till 3 a.m. to waking up at 6, and I would be jet lagged for like a week. I couldn't do anything. Like, there was no, like, the first week, I don't remember anything about my first week of high school, like my junior and senior year, because I was so jet lagged. So I don't know how she did this with the time change.
Yeah, that has to be adrenaline. That has to be adrenaline.
Adrenaline for 26 miles? I thought adrenaline runs out eventually, right?
Man, like, for it to be so well planned out, man, that was just, like, I'm just impressed. Like, she just...
That sounds like a hell of a road trip, too. You start out in Perth, and you end in Antarctica?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and it's like, what the best part about it, it's like, she's seeing all this scenery, and it's like, yeah, she's tired, but it's like all this scenery and on different continents of all things. Like, so, come on, man. You can't beat that story. I mean, you can, but you can't right now.
So hopefully our positive news podcast makes you as happy as Tim is right now.
Man.
Hopefully it makes your week a little bit better, a little less fearful. More unity, more love, community, all that stuff, man.
Word.
Tim, where can they find us at?
Man, you guys can find us Make sure you're following us on Facebook at The Positive Truth Podcast, on Twitter at TPT_podcast, on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Play, and I'm missing one, JP.
I thought you had this memorized, man.
I thought I did too. Now I'm like,
Facebook.
I said Facebook. Did I? Yeah. Facebook at The Positive Truth Podcast.
Oh, you did say Facebook. iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube?
Yeah, I think I said them all.
Okay, cool.
Ha! Take that, world.
Tim, for your quote, you should say it's the nice one again.
It's nice to be nice.
We hope
by Armani Cruz.
Everyone go strive, be nice to someone else today. Keep on spreading that positivity. Keep on spreading that encouraging, uplifting news. We'll see you on Wednesday. We're out.
Deuces. Stay positive.